Hello creative friends, this is Joy coming to you with actually a journal that I made a long time ago, and I put like different pattern papers on here and then brushed across it some different metallic paint, and I did the back as well. And then I found these little things to put on here that's, you know, art related and to kind of give encouragement, you know, like have fun, grow, surrender your fears, let it go, take risks, that kind of thing. And then I decorated it with this little ribbon here on the spine and made these little things to put on here that says art, A-R-T, and then on the back I put hearts. And this was just a little spiral bound journal I bought. It's a sketch pad, and I bought it a long time ago, and I was going to do something with it. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I wanted to do something and I just never did, and I've had it all this time. And I did a journal by fives before, and it's something that Shannon Green introduced, where you go through and you do 20 pages, 5 prompts, 15 minutes each. And I have a thing here where I typed it up. Let me see if I can show you this. And the 5 prompts are paint and ink, collage, recycle, stamp, stencil, words, image, pen, pencil. And I, like I said, did one before, but I thought I would do another one, and I thought it would be fun to use this little journal that I had and not ever did anything with. The only problem is that the pages are with sketch paper and very thin, so I had to go through the journal, and I used this Elmer's Extreme glue stick, and I just put glue all over the pages and, you know, the page, and then pressed the other one on top of it, and ended up gluing 3 pages together. For every 3 pages I glued together so that they would be thicker and could handle some paint, because the pages were pretty thin. So that's what I did in this journal. I went through and glued all the pages, three pages together, and it's supposed to be 20 pages, and I think I've got 23 is what I counted in all, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and do the first prompt, which is paint and ink, and see if I can get through these 20 pages in 15 minutes. So I am going to set my timer for 15 minutes and then see how it goes to getting the 20 pages painted up with some kind of paint or ink or both. So I'm going to fast forward through the rest of the process so that you can see, and we'll see how quickly I can get through these 23 pages in the 15 minutes allotted. So for this first step where I do paint and ink, I decided to get out my Dylusions acrylic paints and my Ranger and Dylusion ink sprays, and to use those for this journal. And this particular part of the process can get really, really messy. At least it did for me. So I just used a credit card to quickly scrape on some paint, and then the sprays to spray the page with a little bit of different color. And so that's what I did on all of the pages. And on this particular state, I did manage to get through putting some paint and sprays on every single page within the 15 minutes. So you know, I went as quickly as I could, but then of course, since everything was so wet, and I just kept putting inks and sprays and kept turning the page, at the end of it, all the pages were kind of stuck together, and so I had to kind of pull them apart and stand the journal up on end with all the pages fanned out, and so that they could all dry. Luckily, none of the pages ripped or tore that stuck together. I was able to pull them apart, but the back side of the pages did end up getting some paint and ink on them, but that's okay. I was fine with that. So the second step for collage and recycle, I pulled out some book pages, an old map, some music note pages, some tissue paper, and then some different colored printed papers that I thought were nice bright colors and that would go with the pages that I just put the inks and this paint and inks on. And so I just went through and randomly ripped pieces, and I used Extreme Elmer's glue stick to glue these pieces down to the journal pages. And on this particular one, I did not get all of the pages completed within the 15 minutes. So once the 15 minutes was up, I got as many done as I could. And then once the 15 minutes was up, I just continued to work through getting some collaging on each of the pages. So I just continue and work through, ripping up pieces of paper from each of the elements I had and gluing them down. So then the third part is the stamps and stencils. So I grabbed my Ranger ink pads and an assortment of stencils that and stamps that I like to use for backgrounds, and just went through each of the pages and tried to do some kind of a stenciled pattern on each of the pages with the Ranger inks, and some kind of a stamping with a stamp on the backgrounds as well, to try to add some pattern to these pages. And as I went through and did the stamping and stenciling, I made sure that I overlapped the elements that I had put on the page with the papers previously. I think that helps kind of, bring the whole page together and makes it more cohesive. So I just continued working through that. The one thing is I use little finger daubers to stencil onto these pages, and it seemed like that it was kind of tearing them up a bit. So they probably aren't the best use on doing this technique, but that's what I used, and so I ruined a couple of them, but that's okay. I believe they're fairly inexpensive, and something else might have worked better, but that's what I used. So then the fourth part is the word and images. So I just grabbed a bunch of different pictures of different elements, of people, of animals. Then I grabbed a bunch of words and phrases and some quotes, and I went through and tried to, as quickly as possible, using my Extreme Elmer's glue stick, glue a picture or two on each page, along with a word or a phrase for each of the pages. And even though I was trying to move quickly on this part as well, I did not finish all of the pages within the 15 minutes allotted, but I continued to work on the journal after the 15 minutes to quickly add something to each of the pages. And if you stay tuned till the end of the video, you'll see while I do a flip through the whole thing to show you all of the pages that I created. But as far as these different steps that I did, I decided, and here I'm using a corner rounder to round some of the corners of some of these pictures. I wanted to show that, but I did not show, I'm not showing you like the whole process, 15 minutes of creating the journal, just a little bit or a part of it, so you can kind of see what process I use, because it just would make the video way too long, and it's basically the same thing over and over again for each step that I used in creating this journal. So then the last part of it, I grabbed my Posca pens and I used it to do some doodling around elements, some borders around elements and things of that type to try to add some different interests to the pages. So this is the final step, which is the pen and pencil detailing. And I really like using these Posca pens because they're really easy to use, they're vibrant, they're bright, and they pretty much will go over anything else as far as paints, inks, paper, you know, you name it. So yeah, I really like using these pens. Also, you'll see some of the pages at the end, but I also use some washi tape on some of these pages. So stay till the end here and you'll see a flip through this whole journal. So hopefully, you know, you'll like the video and like the pages, and if you do, you can like, subscribe to my channel, or leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, and I thank you for stopping by and watching my video. Up next is a flip through this journal by fives that I've completed. Thank you for watching, and talk to you later. Bye-bye. So I've finished this journal by fives, and I went through and did the 5 steps for paint and ink, collage recycle, which is the texture part, stamps, stencils, which is the pattern part, word images, and then pen and pencil. I ran out of time on the last 4. I didn't do so great on the last 4, but you know what, I'm fine with that. I took a little bit more time to finish the pages, but it was still a quick finish, and I'm pretty happy with the journal. So I'm going to do a quick flip through to show you the journal that I completed. This here page is just a cute little page with butterflies that says escape, and then a really pretty flower that I found in a magazine, Flower Power. I thought that was really pretty. This is, you know, as you can see, a vase of flowers. It says miracles, and it says look at everything as though you were seeing it either for the first or last time, then your time on earth will be filled with glory. And I thought that was pretty. This says a picture I thought was really pretty with the flowers and the bee, and it just says healing. And then a couple pictures of meditating and relaxing and unwind. This page has, as you can see, a clock with flowers. It says rejuvenate. And as you can see, I used acrylic paint, sprays, and then I used my stencils with different Ranger inks and ink pads, and just did the texturing on the back with through some stencils. And then the ink part was Posca pens. This here, I like the picture with the paints, and it says magical, and it says to love what you do and feel it really matters. How could anything be more fun? So I like that. Life is about moments. Discover your life. And then it says flying with the angels, and I think it's really cute because it's got some little angel wings hanging on a chair. Hummingbird, I like this picture. I also went and with some washi tape on some of the pages, did some borders and whatnot. It says happiness. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough, which is true. Here's another page of someone relaxing, and it says beat the stress. Beat stress. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it isn't open. I like that saying as well. And I love dolphins, so I really thought this was a pretty picture to put on this page. A life without. And it says follow your bliss. You don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. I like this picture with the wine bottles and the wine glasses. It's warm your spirits and brighten your mood. And then I used washi tape for a border around the whole page and around the picture. This is a pretty page. I really like this girl. It says, "Isn't it time? Go for it. The future is promised to no one." So I thought that was kind of neat. And again, you know, some washi tape, but then you could really see how how off, because I was trying to quickly get stuff glued in that some of the items were, but oh well, it's just for fun anyway. This page I really like. It's so pretty. Lift your spirits. And then it's I don't know if you can tell, but that's a picture of like a whale tail and then like a sunset. This whole page just makes me happy with all the colors. What makes me happy? You are the one and only, ever you. And this was a stencil with words that I did in the background on that one. This is talking about you're a spiritual, intuitive, celebrate, miracles surround us on every hand. Life itself is a miracle of miracles. So I thought that was kind of neat. And you can see some of these I tried to do doodling around the borders, and some I did doodling around the pictures. Take a break, be happy, and a reason will come along. I like that. I did some number stenciling here, and so then I thought the washi tape with numbers would be kind of cool. Happiness. Happiness often sneaks in through a door you didn't know you left open. I like that. It's kind of cool. Secrets. Where there is great love, there are always miracles. Surprising. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. And I think that's pretty, the bird. Extra special. We are each of us angels with only one wing, and we can only fly by embracing one another. I really like that. I thought that was kind of neat. And then the last page, love and hope. Vulnerability is the birthplace of everything we're hungry for. Love, faith, joy, faith, and love. So that's really pretty. And then I sketched a border around this page. And then you can see I used book sheets and maps and other papers, printed papers, and tissue paper on the pages. So that's my Journal by Fives that I just finished. Hope you guys like it. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.